Well. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show with Mike. The one, the only T-Roy is here as well. What up, T?
Hey, buddy.
How are you, pal?
Oh, I'm all right, actually, I guess.
Yeah.
Better than yesterday, you know.
Yeah. Yesterday,
That was all me.
I didn't...
Yesterday was all me, people. All me.
Yeah, don't blame me. It's usually my fault. But...
Exactly. Yesterday was all me.
Yeah, I don't like it when the day goes like this. Like, I was prepping, ready to do a show yesterday, and T walked in the door, doesn't really say a word, and just goes upstairs, which is not that far out of the normal. You know, you almost need to, like, you know, like I'm the housewife, and it's like, don't say anything, let him fucking get his comfy slippers on. Otherwise, you risk getting slapped by the man of the house. So, but then that was the last time I saw you.
Yep.
I got a text that just said, sorry, bro, too sick, can't do show, or something like that. And I didn't post anything because I was like, it's one thing when I post about myself being down for reason X, but I never know, you know, I don't want to invade your privacy.
Sure.
You're a private dude. So I was like, I started to post something last night, and then I was like, you know what? For all I know, he's told half the world he's out of town, you know, so I don't fucking know. I haven't talked to him.
You could use discretion and just say, sorry, guys, no show.
Yeah, I could have.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, I could have. But, you know,
less is more.
The problem is they're used to me giving some, like, lengthy reason as to why we're not doing a show. So, but you know what? We've both been under the weather. I mean, you could still hear it in my voice. Yep. It was awful. Like, I had to, I got a call this afternoon from my primary care physician. So I need to go through these couple different things. I need to go to my cardiologist, and I need to go to my primary care and have them sign off on pre-surgery authorization since my surgery's coming up. So I've got appointment scheduled with both of them, one for tomorrow and one for Monday. And they're like, hey, we can't find your insurance. Well, my insurance, thanks to the great Nick Matthews, changed. And so they're like, we don't have it. Call us back. So I called them and gave them the rundown of everything. She's like, okay, read the numbers on your insurance. I'm like, okay. And I'm reading them back, and she's like, I can't understand you. I can't, because my voice, time to change, kept doing this in and out thing.
Yeah.
The whole time I was talking to her, and she's like, yeah, I don't know what you're saying. I didn't know what to do.
I know speaking Chinese.
I was panicked, and she kept fucking up like one letter or one number. It'd be like 9 correct things, and then one in the middle would be wrong. I'd be like, no.
You got to start over.
No, it's not PD, it's PP, like Peter. And so I went through round and round. It took 10 times longer than it should have. But so anyway, but yeah, we've both been, I'm still dealing with a voice. I've got all these, you know, lozenges down here. So people are probably sick of us whining about shit. But
some crack on your teeth.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But I've gone through I'm almost through 2 bags of 80 each. Halls.
Still on those lemons?
No, yeah. I'm on the lemons now, or whatever they are. They're gross. I need to go get those ones I liked.
Yeah, the fruity ones.
Yeah, the fruity ones I like way better.
Much more better.
Anyways, someone did think we did a show yesterday, so we apologize for that. We'll make good on that through the week. We'll do our best. But I did get an email from Connor.
Yeah.
And he's usually one of the smarter ones in the bunch, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Decently smart guy. He says, hey, Mike, I must be a chick. Dick move saying that right there.
Yeah.
Because I can't find today's show. Sorry, ladies. Hey, take it up with Bone Job. Don't take it up with us. I'm just reading. I'm just a fucking middleman.
Just a very brief post would have saved an email like that. And a tree. Wouldn't have had to print it out.
Yeah. Saw you were on YouTube last night. Am I missing something?
What?
Yeah, right? And you come down here this morning as if the plot doesn't thicken and said our computer was off.
There is shenanigans afoot.
Yeah, something's afoot.
Nerds?
I don't know what's going on here because
sneaking in the back door?
I came down here yesterday before you got home, and I pulled up a video that I wanted to play. And it's old news now, so we're not going to even bother. It was the video of Terry Bradshaw interviewing Coach Andy Reid.
Ah, yes.
And it turned into a big thing yesterday of fat shaming. because he was like, waddle on over here, blah, blah. And then he made some cheeseburger remark at the end of it. And, well, if you know anything about Andy Reid, you know, like that's his reward. Winning a championship game, Super Bowl, he goes and gets the biggest double cheeseburger. That's his thing.
Yep.
Which is why Terry Bradshaw said that. But tell that to woke children, babies. They don't know. And they're like, oh, they're fat shaming him. What? He has to eat cheeseburgers because he's fat? No. Terry Bradshaw's a good friend of his. So anyway, I came down to pull up that video, but that's all I did. I didn't shut anything down.
I don't know.
I didn't do anything.
There's shenanigans. There's something going on.
So something's going on. I don't know what it is.
I
but
think I got us all back up to speed.
Well, I hope so.
There was one thing I missed in our little startup. I think I just fixed it. So
Oh, no.
we're good.
So is it something we need to worry about?
Nah.
right.
Fuck it. We're fine.
Hey, the crew at Zott Ford and Holly is jonesing to help you get a brand new Ford, all while delivering exceptional deals and a world-class experience. Right now, lease a new loaded 22 Ford F-150 Super Crew XLT 4x4 as low as $292 for just 24 months. Or lease a new jammed-up 22 Ford Explorer XLT four-wheel drive as low as $333, also 24 short months. Plus, if you tell our friends at Zott Ford, we'll kick in $500 worth of accessories at no additional charge with your new F-150. Zott Ford is still paying $2,000 over your appraised value when you lease or buy a new Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer, only if you know the name of the E-Tard's favorite furry little critter. It's Tone. I just know it is. Finally, Gabar and the team are still going nuts and offering 0% financing on lots of the new in-stock vehicles. So go check out their voluptuous inventory and dazzling deals at dealsinthed.com. Now, I'd be remiss
Remiss?
if I didn't mention. Yeah, I didn't mean to miss.
I don't think amiss. Yeah.
I'd be remiss. Thank you.
You'd be a mess.
A mess, too, yeah. If I didn't mention radiofor1.com, that's where you can get your merch. Appreciate it. Who was it that dropped? It was Forey dropped by the other day. He was wearing the zip-up new TDC. It's the first one I've seen.
Yeah, man.
Looking
good.
slick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, him wearing that probably made him look at least 20 pounds thinner.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, maybe
At
25.
least. Yeah, maybe 25.
I mean, it was staggering.
Looking good,
Yep.
man. Yeah, I'm not
Strong.
saying it causes weight loss, but it'll give that illusion. Very slimming.
Yeah.
So that's where you get your sweatshirts, your hats, your winter beanies, all that stuff. Amazon link, Amazon Canada, My Pillow link. Just click on it. Just make sure you use promo code TDC, whether you use My Pillow or My Store. Groupon is there for all you people that love shopping on Groupon. That's the place. Just click on our Groupon link and shop away. It won't charge you any extra, obviously. Also, a link to our Patreon page. So now that is out of the way, one of the big stories over the weekend that we never got to was the MSU campus shooting.
Yes, indeed.
It's getting pretty close to home with Oxford
Very.
and MSU.
Well, you got to realize that, I mean, there's got to be a lot of kids that went from Oxford to Michigan State.
There were.
Yeah. There has
Yes.
to be.
Yeah. It's funny. I never even thought of that. It just didn't cross my mind until I saw stories of that yesterday where it was like there were two schools that had recently undergone shootings that both had students at MSU during this.
Yeah.
Where, family or friends kind of tweeted that out or put out on Facebook that was the case.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Crazy.
I mean, how do you ever feel safe? My God. Did I hear there's somebody from Sandy Hook that's there too?
Yeah.
Unfucking believable.
Yeah. I believe so. Or it was the 5-year anniversary the next day of Parkland. Was that Sandy Hook? There's been so many.
I can't remember. I thought I remember somebody telling me that there was somebody that was actually a survivor from Sandy Hook that was at Michigan State too.
Wait, Parkland was down in Florida. Sandy Hook was in Massachusetts or whatever.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
The usual goes on, though. I mean, it's a tragic story. Obviously, there were 3 people killed at MSU and 5 last I knew in critical condition.
Last I've heard, yeah, still.
I mean, just awful. And if you've ever been to that campus, it's one of the funnest campuses I've ever been on.
Definitely.
Michigan State is a blast. I can't say what it's like to walk through the hallowed hallways and go to class, but I can tell you what the party scene is like at MSU.
Yeah, I've done plenty of the dorms. Hubbard was my home away from home there.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, we spent quite a bit of time there with Jay and Merck. Lots of guys. Jason, and I mean, those guys all live together or in the same vicinity, and we would go up there almost every weekend. We'd either go to U of M, visit Deuced, or we'd go to MSU and hang with Jay. But it was, those guys. We were like, what do they call like adopted honorary Spartans and Wolverines. Like at U of M, those guys could not believe how crazy Derek and his buddies were. Like those nerds, they were like, when's Troy and Mike coming back up here? Because it is fucking off the chain anytime those two show up.
Yeah.
And Derek would call us and be like, the boys are asking about you.
You're being
man.
summoned.
Yeah, and it was like, all right, we're having a blowout party this weekend. We're flooding the basement with sand and water and having a beach party and shit. But they're requesting you guys here, and we'd show up right on time and just blow the lines out.
For sure.
And we did the same thing at MSU. So while they all studied and whatnot, we were like the kings of partying, not to brag. I mean, it's not as cool as it was back then at all. But we definitely have plenty of time on Kalamazoo's campus, Spartan campus in East Lansing, and also Ann Arbor. So we're very familiar with the giant rock that is out there, and people paint it, whether they students will paint it every year, and it's just kind of a tradition, whether they're ragging on U of M or whatever. That rock was painted after the shooting, and it just said, how many more, with a question mark. Well, there's some problems now with that because some people came in and painted over that and painted a new message. Did you hear about this?
I did not, no.
Yeah.
Balls to paint over that.
Yeah. The new message says, allow us to defend ourselves and carry on campus.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And that was up for a few hours.
Oh, I'm sure
before some very liberal kids came out and repainted over it again. Like, this will not stand.
Well, that's probably not the message that at the moment. It's a conversation that can be had and should be had.
Yeah.
But it may be. And even with that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that you could ever allow guns in a dorm. For one, just the reality of it.
Yeah,
the logistics
young
of it.
people and
alcohol
galore, and fights. They.
I mean, just for it to if you've been in the dorms, you know that it's just a very communal atmosphere. I mean, people are in and out of everybody's room. Your doors are open. People come in and out all the time.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a situation that's going to end well, in my opinion.
Well, I've got another story.
I do have one issue with that.
Which part?
Well, from the because I was watching that coverage when I found out about it, and I was following it pretty closely. I mean, listening to the scanner.
The MSU one?
Yep. That was going down that night, watching the news.
And it was late, too. I think this started at like 8:15. And, they were releasing details at like 1 in the morning or a little after midnight.
Yeah. But so I was just, I was concerned. I was interested. We were following along with it. And it got to a point where between social media, the news, and the scanner, that we were listening to, piecing all this stuff together, to where they knew who it was. I mean, they didn't know his name, but they had a description of the guy.
Is this when they put out the picture of the black guy with the red tennis shoes?
Yeah, that's the guy, but this is before the picture that I actually saw the picture. But enough people had seen the picture. Maybe it had been on other outlets.
Looked like
at that
he'd be
point.
very identifiable. I got to be honest with you in that picture.
Yes. Well, this is a manhunt. I mean, they're looking for this guy.
Yeah.
And the news kept saying a short male in a baseball hat.
Of course they were.
This is all the information that we have. I'm like,
what's missing from that description?
No, it's not. And they said it over and over and over. And I'm like, fuck your PC shit at this point. Like this, we need the most accurate description possible to try and find this guy. But you're afraid to say his skin color, because you don't want. I mean,
dude, it shows you where we're living right now.
It was insane.
It's insanity.
I was furious.
Yeah, you should be.
Beside myself.
Imagine if you were a parent with a child who's calling you from a dorm room, fucking in tears.
Yeah.
Imagine being that parent and they're putting out bullshit information like that to appear as woke as humanly possible.
Yep, we don't want
It makes you look more racist. Like you can't even have the discussion about, because if it was a white male, they would have just said a white male. We can all parse between and read between the lines. That's fucking infuriating, though.
It was.
I saw that too. I did see that too. Short male, red tennis shoes.
Eventually,
the one thing he can change is his fucking shoes.
Yep.
Can't change his skin color.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Take the hat off. Put a new jacket on. Don't wear red shoes, dumbass. But
yeah. Apparently, that's a big mistake people make is not changing their shoes.
I believe it.
Yeah. You just little things you don't think about. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is a fucking tragedy. I can't. I'm glad the guy's fucking dead, but not the way it went down. And it's a shame that I don't know that we'll ever figure out what the fuck that was.
Well, yeah, true, fair enough.
Not really. I mean, you can put you can try and figure it out.
Unless you find a manifest on his fucking computer or something, you're right. It sounds like he went off his rocker a bit when his mom died in 2020. His dad, the press got to him, and it sounds like this kid was trying to go home, and then as he got close to his place, they were already descending on that house, which is in the Lansing area, not too far away. He had no affiliation from what the last news I heard.
Yeah, 40-something-year-old man.
43.
Yeah, no affiliation with it. Wasn't
an employee of MSU, a student.
I mean,
teacher,
by all
nothing.
accounts, as random as they come.
Yeah.
And how do you defend that?
Yeah. I don't know. You don't.
You can't.
Is the correct answer.
Exactly.
You don't.
Right.
And it's very raw, obviously, right now for people. And the debate goes on about thoughts and prayers. The debate continues about gun reform,
of course,
and all that shit. It's a moot point. You're getting nowhere with that.
No.
Is there something that can be done? I would love to see something that was truly bipartisan, where both sides can agree, like, yeah, we can do these sorts of things. But this idea of it becoming a political issue is just infuriating probably to everybody involved.
Of course.
Because you're just not going to make it, at least in America. That Second Amendment matters. It just does. And I understand it's an amendment and amendments can be changed. Well, you need to go through a lot to change an amendment like that.
Yep.
But when you've got more guns in the country than people, I've always said, let me know when you round up everybody else's gun, and I'll gladly turn mine over. No problem with that. Again, warning signs were there. This guy's mom dies. His dad is interviewed and is like, yeah, he turned into kind of a piece of shit. He was a super mommy's boy. And when his mom died suddenly in 2020, he kind of went off the deep end. And I'd ask him, like, hey, you should get rid of that gun. And he's like, yeah, Dad, I did. He's like, oh, okay. Just kind of left it at that.
Right.
And it's like, feel like something else could have been done there, Pop.
I mean, maybe. I don't know
but
that
he's
there was
43. What are you going to do?
But you have to define off the rocker, for one. Was there any actual threats of the violence? Any red flags that were really out there other than him being, fucking off his rocker?
Yeah.
Because he's getting into a gray area. I mean, you just really are.
Yeah. And if you're sad about your mom dying, okay. I could see someone killing themselves. If it was that overwhelming to you and you were that close to your mom, that can happen with anybody. Your brother dies, your sister dies, your loved one dies, your significant other dies. Like, I get it.
Of course.
But what does that have to do with Michigan State University?
Nothing.
What, you know what I mean? Like, how do we end up with a society that this keeps happening to, right? You're a loser or a piece of shit, whatever.
Yeah.
I sympathize. I empathize with you, right? That's not easy to go through life feeling like a fucking piece of shit. Believe me, I know firsthand. But at no point have I ever thought, even the slightest, of like, when I go out, I'm going out in a blaze of glory and I'm taking in as many assholes as I can with me.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't register. And I don't know if that's our age, if it's like,
well,
this is the new way to do things, because it almost seems like that.
I mean, it doesn't make sense on any level, any of it. But you go back to like Oxford or whatever. At least there's a connect. I mean, why it happened or how it happened. There was a connection there.
You mean
between the kid
school.
at the school,
Yeah.
You can go back to Columbine, the bullying, whatever it is. I mean, at least you can there's a reason it happened.
There's a connection.
There's a connection.
Yeah,
But
Parkland,
this-
same way at Parkland.
But why? Like this just doesn't make sense. I mean, why walk as far as he did? What very intentionally?
Yeah.
I mean, he could have stopped anywhere and killed people if that's what he wanted to do. Why did he go all the way there to go into it? You know, it just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought when I first heard about it, I immediately thought that it was just like beef, that it was somebody shooting somebody intentionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a fight or something that broke out. It was somebody it wasn't a random mass shooting like this.
Yeah.
And then as I started getting more like, oh, Jesus Christ, holy shit.
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck? And shit was coming in all hot and heavy and from all different angles. There was 3 shooters, 3 scenes, all this, you know, it was very, very murky at first.
You're better off ignoring the news the night of.
Of course.
It's impossible to do, but you realize from the first reports to what it turns out being that those reports are always wrong. Always.
Yep. So yeah, I just don't, I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. I can't even wrap my head around. It doesn't compute on any level. Like I said, in some fucked up way, you can understand ones with a connection.
Yeah.
Like it's not okay. I'm not justifying, but at least it makes some sense of what happened.
If you were going to a dorm today, like if you were, 21 years old, 19 years old, whatever it is when you start college, do you think you would just be like, you know what, I know it's this is a gun-free zone, but I am going to quietly, and you of all people I know would be able to keep it fucking quiet.
Oh, sure.
You would not be someone who needs to tell anybody, but hide that shit properly somewhere in your dorm.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, and you're very good about that, about shutting the fuck up. So if you brought a gun onto a campus that was a gun-free zone, you would keep that shit quiet until the moment it needed to be divulged that you had one.
Yeah.
Like some maniac is running through the hallways of the dorm and indiscriminately firing at people, at which point every single person in that fucking dorm is praying that somebody ignored that fucking rule and law and had one hidden in their shoebox in their closet and can at least give us a fighter's chance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, even
we
that
see it so much. That's why I'm asking.
But
like,
the circumstances, it was so just random, so hit and miss. I mean, by the time anybody figured out what the fuck was going on, dude was gone. It's not like some of these where you're just walking down the hall, just doing your thing until it ends. Like, he went in, popped some people, and left.
Yeah.
And then 15, 20 minutes later,
but
whatever it was.
You wouldn't know that. You wouldn't know that at the time. For all you know, he's still on your floor.
I understand.
Just quietly creeping around, waiting for anyone to make a noise.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm just thinking outside the box. Like, I'd rather have the gun on my person and have to deal with the dean because I brought a gun onto campus illegally against their policy.
Yeah.
And yet, when it was needed, I was able to use it.
Like I said, for me, this is just me, is that there's been more times in my life that I've been glad I didn't have a gun than times that I needed a gun.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah.
There's been times that I'm glad I didn't have one.
Yeah.
And I, to be honest with you, there's been 0 times that I felt like I needed one.
Right.
There's been a couple of times I might have wished I had it, didn't really need it.
Yeah.
But there's been plenty of times that I'm glad I didn't because it probably wouldn't have ended well.
Where you're seeing red in a moment.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Multiple situations.
Yeah, I understand that.
So that being said, if you want to talk about this situation of, hypothetically fine, me having a gun in my dorm in college,
right?
Sure, I can be, quiet about it so people don't know I have it, but the odds of it going sideways are a lot more likely than me being able to be the one-time hero when this random fucking act happens.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That's my opinion of it. But I'm all for guns, and I'm all for good guys with guns.
I totally understand where you're coming from. I think, if I'm being brutally honest, we were probably borderline alcoholics as young kids.
For sure.
And in those days, there was no telling us what to do or how to do it. Mm-hmm. So while we weren't just buckled down, studious studiers, we were the party guys. And so when you're overindulging on any random weekend or weekday night, shit gets said and stuff goes sideways. We were pretty good about staying out of that stuff.
For the most part.
For the most part. Yeah. But there were times you and I would have it out, you and Deuce would have it out, me and Jay would scream at each other. Like, those moments happened. Now, that never escalated. We've never gone to blows, fisticuffs, or anything like that. But if it wasn't someone we knew and we got into one of those situations, God only knows how you would have reacted with a brain filled with alcohol and God knows what else.
And most of mine, my regrets are adult life.
Yeah.
Not when I was a kid, not when I was stupid, not when I was, well, I might have been drunk for some of them, but, but this isn't like, dumb kid shit. This is like in my adult life of times like, it's a real fucking good thing I didn't have a gun. Yeah. Because it would have come out.
Yeah. And even if it just means brandishing it.
Right.
Which is, not a good thing either. Yeah, it takes a very special, controlled person in that moment to, and the only reason I bring it up, and I'm not suggesting anybody do that, is just that it was so far from our minds at that age. Like the idea that someone would come onto your middle school, grade school, high school, college campus, and just open fire on people was just not a thing. We were long out of high school and college when Columbine happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So did school shootings happen before that? Of course they did. But not to any level that it was even a thought in your mind.
Right. It was never a concern.
Hell no.
Now it's top of mind.
Thing.
We trained to for tornado drills and shit.
Yeah,
that's
drills.
And fire drills. That was what we trained for. Now they train,
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Run, hide, fight.
Yeah.
Is a mantra now.
Yeah. That's the thing. That was what Michigan State tweeted out or whatever.
Yeah.
Run, hide, fight. I mean, it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the odds of you being involved in one are so slim. But tell that to Oxford students. Tell that now to MSU students.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah, they are slim, but they're not zero.
They're not zero.
No. And I feel like they're definitely going up.
Yeah. It seems like we're unfortunately reporting on this stuff way too often. There was the kids in Idaho as well, in Moscow. Yeah. Moscow, Idaho, right? Yeah, not Moscow. More stuff coming out on that front, too. Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin were found dead by his best friend who checked for the process. This story's getting weird, man. It's getting weird.
There's new details coming out in this?
Yes. So the surviving roommate, the 911 call was made from her phone.
Okay.
By Ethan's best friend 8 hours after the fact.
Okay.
Yeah. The unidentified friend, so we don't know who it is.
So this is the chick that came face to face with the bushy eyebrows.
Yes.
And went back to bed.
Yeah, and Dylan is her name. Okay. Dylan Mortensen.
And then found him allegedly the next day.
Yes. So the friend had gone over there on the morning of November 13th, hours after all four were slain in their sleep by suspected killer Brian Koberger. Chapin's best friend found the two bodies, took their pulse, and then began shouting at Dylan Mortensen, the girl, the 21-year-old, and others to call 911 at 11:58 a.m. The call was made from Mortensen's phone, but new details revealed it was the best friend that talked to the police. Mortensen came face-to-face with a quadruple killer suspected. Shortly after the murders, his questions arise as to why she didn't call 911 earlier. It's always seemed really weird.
Yeah, we've questioned that to death.
Huh?
So we've questioned that to death.
Yes. Mortensen allegedly believed the sounds of her four housemates being brutally murdered were sounds from college partiers in her house. "Calm down, you're being loud," she yelled around 4 a.m. "I'm trying to sleep." The college student then closed and locked her door. After hearing some more loud noises that night, she opened her door again and saw the murderer, but believed him to be a party goer. Now, Chapin's...
this is him. This is after the fact, right? And this is him leaving?
Yeah.
You're telling me this dude is not covered in blood?
He would have to be.
Have to be covered in blood.
Now, you got to figure if she's asleep, that the lights are out in the hallway maybe. It's still the middle of the night.
Close enough to see bushy fucking eyebrows.
Yeah, through the mask, no doubt.
So,
But if he's wearing dark clothes, it's not that you'd see. It's not like he was wearing all white and you'd just see red splattered all over.
Yeah, I know.
So Chapin's sister-in-law. So Chapin again is the guy Ethan Chapin, whose friend called 911.
Harry's kid, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely, Harry's kid. Chapin's sister-in-law has since revealed that Dylan Mortensen called all of the roommates after she heard screaming and crying coming from their rooms. Of course, none of them answered their phones because they were dead.
Yep.
So she wrote on a thread on Reddit, she said D, as in Dylan, supposedly called all the girls in the house after the crying and screaming stopped and no one answered. And she still didn't call the police. She needs to explain herself and her actions that night. When questioned about who called police, she added 911 caller was the friend who went in because D called him to come over because she was scared from what she heard the night before. Yeah. Mortensen told police she heard several scuffles through the night and opened her door when she saw a suspect dressed in all black with a mask covering his face and heard one of the housemates say, "There's someone here." She also heard the suspect say, "It's okay, I'm here to help you," as he wandered the house. Some argued she didn't call 911 because she may have been frozen by fear. You know, one of the girls, by the way, Kernodle, apparently tried to fight him and tried to grab the knife and cut her fingers to shit.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Oh, my God.
The old defensive wounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Textbook.
Now, is it possible that if you're on a college campus, and we've been to those parties, you know, whether it's a house party where 5 guys or 6 girls are all living in one house. I used to live in one of those in East Lansing. And basically it was an open door. People came and went. You were constantly having parties.
Yeah.
The dorms could be like that.
Definitely.
You even mentioned that. And also frat houses and sorority houses can be like that. Less so sorority than frat, but nonetheless. So you would be used to having random people in your house at any given time and at weird hours.
Definitely.
So you have to not think of this as just like your neighborhood, your personal home. There is a lot more. And I don't know what it's like in Moscow, Idaho, even though I have family that live there.
It's probably still pretty much the same.
A
I would
campus
imagine
party.
It's a college campus.
Yeah.
And people don't think that way when you're in college. You just don't. I mean, girls think about, walking around getting raped and shit at night and be careful about that stuff. But when you're together, when you're home, when you're with your people, like you just feel safe.
Yeah.
You just do. Even if the door's unlocked, you feel safe, even though you're not. And the odds of something happening are so astronomically low that you essentially are safe.
Right.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking. But shit does happen. It can
So
happen.
do you give her any...
I've
saying
called weird
Dylan,
shit on her the whole time. I don't
none
know.
of it's made sense. But if you're used to hearing people fucking in this room, people screaming and yelling in this room, people calling each other pussies for not doing another shot in that room, if you're used to hearing that commotion and you sleep through it anyways, is it so far of a stretch to say impossible to hear your roommates being stabbed and murdered to death and not make a difference between party noises and absolute horror of quadruple murders taking place?
I mean, I don't know. That was always my question was there not like screams of horror?
You would think.
It'd be one thing if it was just quick and quiet somehow and it was a scuffle and you heard some gurgling and some, muffled, maybe. And I don't know exactly where her room is in relation to this.
She was upstairs. There was the shit went down on the first floor and the second floor.
Yeah, so aside from, blood-curdling screams and help, he's got a knife, being very audible, it's hard to differentiate
and
noises.
Would you yell that anyways, he's got a knife? I think you would just scream.
I mean, whatever, sure. But
I think one of the guys what I was reading in that story is one of them got their throat slit. So how much you could scream at that point, I don't know.
No, but that's fine. We talked about this at the time.
Exactly.
Okay, so it was four people dead, right?
Yep.
They got all four?
Yeah.
So unless it was instant,
Yeah.
and like I said, two of them were in bed. Like, they weren't all in the same place. It'd be one thing if they were all, like, sitting in the family room drinking, playing euchre or something, and somebody comes in with a knife.
Right.
It'd be different. So and how this all played out chronologically, I don't know. I can't speak intelligently to it.
Yeah.
Maybe he came in, caught the dude, asked him, "Hey, who the fuck are you?" Stab, stab.
Yeah.
And before you could even get a scream out, it's gone.
Yeah.
But now nobody knows.
Well, especially if they're sleeping in bed.
Yeah, and then you go to get there, and I don't know if the girls were first, if the girls were last. I don't know how this all went down, but
my guess is you would attack the guy first, slit his throat, and then.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't think he tried to attack the guy. I think he went for the girls, but maybe he caught the guy on the way in. Maybe he caught the guy on the way out. I don't know how it all went down. I don't know. Nobody does.
Really. I thought they were in bedrooms. They were paired up in bedrooms.
The girls were in the bed together, I thought.
I don't know.
Anyway, again, it's total speculation. But
yeah.
I can't say. It just is amazing to me that nobody got a scream out.
Yeah.
And maybe they did. And maybe that's what she heard, and she didn't follow up. Now, again, she's still alive and they're not. So
would it be wild if it turned out that Dylan whatever was involved with this guy that committed these murders and was like, I'm not going to say anything. You go take care of what you need to take care of.
It should be just a total mastermind and set this guy up.
Or just like you do your job, and then I'll just say, yeah, I froze. I don't know.
Yeah.
Give you time to get the fuck out of here.
Well, then
the cops won't be called for hours.
Then don't go bushy eyebrows. Then you say it was a black guy.
Yeah.
Just saying. If you want to lay down some cover, you don't say you saw him, for one. And if you do, you saw it was a 300-pound black guy.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah,
Good
little
point.
red herring out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I was locked in my room. I fell asleep. I have no idea. All I saw was a guy with bright orange hair.
Mm-hmm. Right? I looked straight at him. He stole my soul. I don't get. I mean, a lot of that just hasn't made sense. I can't pretend to be in that situation and fully understand exactly what it was, but there's a lot of it just doesn't totally add up. But what am I? Who knows? Maybe she was fucking wasted too.
Yeah, I don't know. It's impossible to know. I imagine.
But yes, in that situation, that sort of that communal party house of especially with a bunch of chicks, so rando dudes are coming around, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're all whores, but just historically speaking.
Yeah.
Some dude comes walking through. It's not necessarily like some huge red flag.
Right.
Sound the alarms and call 911 because some guy's in your house. Well,
right.
Yeah, that's the fourth one this week.
Right.
Exactly.
So
I don't know, but again, there's the way it went down. That she heard stuff, she called, she went back to sleep, and maybe she was wasted, and she was like, "You guys, I've done it," and then just phone hits you in the face, and you fall asleep and pass out, and wake up the next day.
Been there,
right? Noon the next day, like, oh man, what?
I thought I heard some screaming.
Yeah, what was that? Let me go see. Hey, I wonder if breakfast is ready.
But then she called someone before she looked. I don't think she looked.
Right? So that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
Didn't call anybody that night and be like, hey, come over. Something fucking weird's going on.
Yeah. I heard screaming like crazy, and then all of a sudden it stopped cold.
I'm scared there was somebody in the house. Can you come over and, grab me like a six-pack? I mean, check the house.
Yeah.
But
weird.
So it just doesn't add up, man.
No.
I don't know.
No. It's weird.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Your Insurance Expert. Are you paying too much for health insurance? Are you uninsured? Well, health insurance can be confusing. Nick Matthews from Your Insurance Expert is an expert in health insurance, life insurance, and Medicare supplements, so you don't have to be. You can call Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173. Again, that's Nick Matthews at 248-914-1173.
All right, this has been a
super fucking downer show, man.
Yeah.
Got anything funny over there?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Well, yeah. How about some race stuff?
Killing my buzz, man.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do.
I got into it with the whole short guy in a baseball hat.
Yeah,
I
right.
already broached the race subject.
Well, I've got this has been kind of a pet peeve of mine forever, and my problem is, you can't touch the N-word. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
As far as racist terms go, is there anything even close? And I think you're kidding yourself. And so it's like, not to brag about it or anything, but it's always seemed like you do better. You know,
Do better.
Don't. You know, like, oh, cheap suit. Yeah, I get it. You spend more on fucking suits, black guys. I get it. So every guy, white guy's a cheap suit. Hilarious. Cracker ass cracker. You know, whether that's the whip cracker or saltine cracker. They just don't have that oomph about them.
No.
They don't sting. They make me chuckle.
Honky.
Honky.
Aruga.
If someone calls me a honky, I'm gonna RFOL.
Yeah.
You know, rolling on ROFL. Yeah, I got
ROFL.
ROFL.
Although there's no T, it should be ROTFL. Rolling on the floor laughing.
The floor laughing, yeah.
But people fuck that up. Raffle.
And so this has gone on for years in my world. Like at some point, someday, they're gonna come up with an equivalent N-word where it's like, hey, yeah, now you know how it feels. Fucking whitey, blah blah blah. White devil doesn't work.
No.
You know, pancake batter doesn't work. Like none of it.
No.
It just doesn't bother me.
No. Well, because there's no matter what they come up with, there's no
Historical,
historical context to it like that.
Maybe so, but they're trying. They're trying.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you. I've only got a few of them.
All right.
I don't have the whole list.
Are you allowed to say these?
Yeah, I'm white. You're white.
Okay, fair enough. All right, good.
So these are
Let's check. Wow.
anti-white slurs.
All right. I'm going to be half offended.
Okay, the top half of you. A group of students at multiple campuses circulated a list of horrific anti-white slurs. As you can tell, I'm reading a story.
Well, yeah, of course.
So,
right. This is verbatim. This is in context.
So these horrific anti-white slurs in a student group chat. The list of more than 250 racist names for white people.
That's all right.
Yeah, someone's doing some work,
That's
man.
impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I could get to 50.
I couldn't either. I
I
mean,
don't know that I could get to 20. Let's see where you're at, and we'll go from there.
yeah. So these names for white people were leaked by an Auburn University student earlier this month. The list was shared on a group chat connected to Auburn's Black Student Union on the messaging app GroupMe. The university said that it is investigating the chat and has known about it for nearly a month. Administrators have since learned that the GroupMe chat in question is titled AU Connect, brought to you by The Throwdown, and includes hundreds of people from multiple universities. These comments did not occur on the Black Student Union GroupMe, nor as part of any recognized Auburn University organized channel. Auburn student Jaden Hurd leaked the list to Turning Point USA.
All right.
From my perspective, it looks like they were just joking around, trying to have a laugh. But I'm also imagining if the roles were reversed. Oh, yeah. See how that works?
Yeah. Try and throw down 250
Yeah.
black.
Not saying that's never been
names.
done.
No, I understand that, but let me know what the repercussions for that are.
Right. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. He's a bigger man than I. That they were just all a joke. But at the same time, it was a university-funded organization, and that's pretty wild. Many of the 265 names are anything but jokes. So some of them include, and if you get offended, T, at any point, you tell me to stop.
All right.
Because, you know, this is an attack on you
Yeah, most of me.
personally and me.
Some of me, yeah.
Yeah, at least part of you. I mean, you're a blue-eyed white guy. I mean, you can't get any more. You're like the most hated, you know. Yeast maggots.
Yeast maggot?
Yeah. Fucking yeast maggot. God damn, man, I was walking down the street and this motherfucking yeast maggot came walking up to me asking for directions and shit. Thought about shooting him in the face.
No.
Nothing?
No.
Plantation Barbies?
No. No. I mean, like, I'll be honest. You started with the plantation thing, and I was like, uh-oh. And then you dropped Barbie, and I was like, you know.
Yeah. No.
You missed your target on that one. Sorry.
All right. Fuck you, you mutated vermin.
I think that crosses all kinds of lines.
All right.
That's not specifically to a white person. I would.
You know what? I've had enough of your shit, you fucking colonizer.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's almost a badge.
Fight
of
harder,
honor.
win a war.
It's almost a badge of honor, I think. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, how many colonies you got? I got all of them.
Quit losing all the fucking wars. Jesus Christ. Fuck you, you albino ape.
Well, that's very close to Honky Kong and Vanilla Gorilla.
Yeah, it is.
So
Honky Kong and Vanilla Gorilla need to be on their
they should be.
list.
Albino ape. I mean, that's
Albino ape.
Listen, I lean right into that one. That's
Yeah.
I fucking wear that as a badge of honor.
Half of albino ape really offends some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you call them that, like half of albino ape.
Yeah.
Really stirs the pot.
Yeah, right? I mean, that's...
Albino doesn't bother me. I mean, there's black albinos.
Yeah. Well, what? I'm a monkey? Well, you're an albino monkey.
Ape.
I know. Well, I was not saying it. I was...
Yeah. Albino rats. That's just a white rat.
They don't
Those
have red
exist.
eyes.
Huh?
They don't have red eyes. Albino rats have red eyes.
Red eyes, yeah. I think albino...
I used to buy those as pets.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Fucking because they were like $1 at the fucking store. I fucking put them on my shoulder and ride my bike around.
Really?
Yeah, they were pretty cool actually.
Oh, okay. Diseased albino monster?
Okay.
Nothing like, God, dude.
I know. Well, I mean, it speaks volumes to the fact that you guys are really stretching and not hitting,
not fucking
not
getting
landing.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of swings, a lot of misses.
It's just a whole lot of, no, missed again. Yeah, we're about to
Okay.
start. Why you keep hitting yourself?
Right?
You know what I mean? We're going to play a game of what? Stop hitting yourself.
I think we're about there, close, yeah.
This is kind of good. Mayo sapiens.
All right. Okay.
Not offensive, but
No.
hilarious.
Sure.
Mayo sapien, you know. Ku Klux Karen. I suppose if you're a Karen, any form of Karen is offensive. Like that's as close as they've come.
Yeah.
The whole Karen thing. Like at least for the Karens of the world.
Oh, yeah.
And it could have just as, like we've talked about, it could have just as easily been the Jennifers, the Julies, the Lisas.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It just happened to be Karen.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people dodged bullets on that one.
And don't think it's not lost on me with as boring a name as Mike that it couldn't have been.
Yeah,
the
but
male version.
Mike transcends.
Yeah, there's a lot of black Mikes out there, but
Name one black Karen.
I don't think they've ever existed.
I don't know. Yeah. If
Do
there
black
is, if there
Julies
was, it's got a
exist?
Q in it.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
in a squiggly line.
An apostrophe someone. Cut Aaron. Oh boy. Yeah.
You know the rule about making me laugh. Dude.
Yeah.
Ku Klux Karen, do better.
Yeah, that one doesn't land.
Walking corpse. Again,
I know. That speaks
this
volumes.
is the best. I mean, should we sit down and have a session one day and come up with better ones?
Probably.
I mean, wouldn't that be funny?
And I could see this if this was like, because I've been in those situations where you just spitballing, you got a bunch of people together, just throwing shit together, like trying to come up with stuff.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate the humor in this. If we were like trying to, hey, let's come up with fucking white names, you know. So they're not all gonna land. You're getting volume. Hopefully some of them hit.
When you've got over 260.
But this is coming from all, yeah.
So here's what I think's going on here. I think you're absolutely right with that assessment. Nothing was not worthy of this list. And I'm telling you, if you've ever known anybody that is a script writer or anything like that, they'll go through 20 rewrites, right? And then they'll whittle it down. And so you start with 260 and nothing's off limits. Just throw a dart wherever it lands on the board. We'll put it on the list. At some point, someone's got to check this thing and go, okay, guys, really? We're going Ku Klux Karen?
And this could have been premature because this was leaked. So this could be a rough draft.
True.
And they didn't get to narrow it down to their top 50.
Yeah, that's true. So you're saying there could be a lot of black kids that are just absolutely mortified that their rough draft has gone out there.
Right. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that. That was
They
I was
thought
fucking around.
Dude,
I knew
walking
that
corpse.
was
We all knew that was
gonna
dumb as
make.
shit.
Oh.
Mockery of humanity. Tired of these goddamn mockery of humanity walking around here being all fucking thinking they own everything.
That might be the worst of them all.
Yeah.
And has nothing to do with being white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that applies to anyone at any time.
Yeah. Mockery of humanity.
Okay.
Yeah. What does that have to do with white people?
Fuck off.
Yeah. Diseased Neanderthals. Is it like one guy in the fucking chat throwing around disease?
I think so. Yeah.
Are we all diseased?
This is the guy from the science department.
Yeah.
He keeps dropping these in.
Yeah, he's just nerding out, pushing his class up. How about diseased Neanderthals? Yeah, okay.
Right?
Yeah. He's just the Urkel of the fucking black group. Urkel spitting out shit like, diseased albino monster. Just put it on the list.
Just put it on there.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, listen, again, if you're just spitballing here, this is early work. And hey, there's no bad answers here. Let's just get it out there. We'll see.
Keep everyone involved.
That might lead to something else. Let's just say what you got to say. I get it, if it's a real think tank kind of situation going on.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that the original rough draft here,
has been
got
leaked
before we got to the good stuff.
I think we're missing the hundreds of years of enslavement. You know what I mean? Where for Whitey.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we're missing a crucial element to the racial arsenal.
Right.
Which is now.
Is top 1% on there? Fucking 1%er.
Goddamn global elite. These motherfucking global elites are pissing me off, man.
Fucking Illuminati. See, we can crush this list.
Crush this list. You came up with diseased Neanderthals. Fuck you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Spoken like a true less than 1%er.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right, T. Not meant to exist.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
All right. Well,
I'm rubber, you're glue. You know what I mean? Is we playing that?
ooh,
Burn.
look, I wasn't meant to exist.
Burn.
Right?
Wait, I swear to God, if I overheard black eyes and that's what they were shit talking Whitey with that, like crack ass, crack a cheap suit, I'd be like, yeah, man, it doesn't really sting, but if anything was gonna sting, fine.
How am I not supposed to? I got two parents. How was I not supposed to exist? What are you talking about?
Goddamn Father's Day celebrators.
All the
That's what they could have called us.
Right?
Father's Day celebrators. Now that would have been an insult, right?
Well, I mean, not really an insult, but at least fucking carried some weight.
A little bit of truth to it.
Yeah, I don't want to swing too close to home, I think. Just stick with the Neanderthals.
Yeah. Non-abortionist motherfuckers. You know?
Reminds me, there was a website back in the day, whatever, but they used to do these like caption contests. And it was local. It was this cave radio thing out of Redford. But John Moore and I would go on there, and we would just buy. And they would do it for like prizes, right? That's where my Shocker shirt came from.
Oh,
I won it from one of those, right?
Okay.
But so we would just go back and forth, and it would just wouldn't know because it would just come up like bing, commented on the photo, and like, oh yeah. So him and I would just go back and forth, and it was funny because there would be 100 replies, and they were all like this. And John and I are just dropping hammers, just bombs, and just topping each other.
So
and just
what
going
is this,
back and
like
forth.
Redford Local Access?
Yeah, no, it was like Cape. Trying to remember what the fuck it was now. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think they do it's the guys that do the cave radio now, like a podcast, Cave CRB.
Yeah.
I think it's those guys, and it was their initial. Can't remember the name of what the page was now. It's totally different now, but back it was pretty un-PC.
Yeah.
But they would do these little contests. But anyways, and it would like nobody else. It was embarrassing that nobody else would even come close
to swinging for the fences.
Yeah, we would just be dropping N-bombs, and they'd be like,
not literally, but
no, not literally, but I'm just saying in this context.
Yeah,
I'm like,
someone throw out "not meant to exist." That is not meant to exist.
So they changed the
Livonia, Michigan.
Everybody got pissed, and they changed the rules. So now you're only allowed one entry. We're like, okay.
Pool our thoughts.
No, but we weren't doing them together. We were like separate doing them.
Yeah.
Like he would win. I'd be like, oh yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
How about that one? And then he'd be like, oh yeah, fuck you.
T's good at this game. I've played this game with you. Yeah.
You just would keep the ball rolling. But then they were like, you can only do one. We were like, okay. So we'd wait a little bit and then be like, no.
And game over.
Gone. Done. I only get one? Okay, that's fine. There's your one.
Yeah.
Take that one.
Yeah.
But then they were like, okay, dude, you can't have another shirt. It's just let somebody else win for a while.
Yeah.
You made the rules. The fuck?
I brought the hammer.
Tell people to be more clever. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. That's the people that want you to take a knee in the first half. No. Not
at all.
There's only a couple more on this shortened list. Products of incest. Okay, I guess if you were an actual product of incest, that would sting a bit.
Okay.
you know.
Well, if you want to go back to biblical terms,
Yeah. Adam and Eve, you mean?
supposedly we all started from Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. So you're a product of incest as well.
Take the good and the bad, I suppose.
Lastly, cousin lovers, which again, same. So are you trying to insult people from the South?
I think so.
That's typically where that goes.
Generally, yeah.
Goddamn, cousin fuckers.
But I assess that as a South thing, not necessarily a white thing, I guess.
No.
It's just a Southern thing. Well, I guess maybe it kind of
Redneck.
like the redneck hillbilly
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. That's kind of a hillbilly thing. Product of incest and
But I just think of it as
lovers.
a Southern thing more than a race thing. But all
Yeah.
right, hey, you know what? If cousin,
yeah.
I think cousin lover probably is the best of them all.
Really?
At least, I mean, what else has
Better than yeast maggot?
Yep. What else? What else even has a remote sting to it?
Myosapiens.
Mayo sapien.
Mayosapiens.
I think like mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise.
That one's pretty good.
The list was titled, I think, the best of all. Creaker names.
Creaker names?
Yeah, creaker is another slur for an old white guy. Old
creaker.
white person is a creaker.
All right.
So you titled the list Creaker names.
And nobody even dropped a creaker in it.
Yeah, exactly. The list also appears to include international students. It includes the name Ready Salted Crisps without the motherfucking salt, a British term for potato chips, and winter wallabies, a reference to the Australian marsupial. Screenshots from the group chat indicate that the students intend to use the list to insult white people on campus. Here's a Google Doc, names for Neanderthals. Now, if any of them try to play, we got the names on command.
Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Could
you
you
nailed
imagine
it, guys.
somebody dropping that one just in the wild?
Shit.
Like in line, cutting in front of somebody?
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mayo Sapien.
Yeah.
Fuck did you just say? You heard me, Mayo Sapien.
Yeah, fuck you, yeast maggot. Don't act like you didn't hear me, yeast maggot. Be like, fucking albino rat, get out my way. Nah, I'm not buying it.
No.
You know
No.
what? Maybe it's best. Maybe it's best for all races involved, T. Maybe what
Do the Chinese next.
No, hold on.
Sorry,
I think I have
Asians.
an idea here.
All right.
So I'm just talking to the whiteys out there. If there's any darkies listening right now, just earphones or whatever.
La, 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 la,
Yeah,
la.
just plug your ears for a minute. What if we just pretended that this list was like, oh shit,
Oh, you got me.
fucking, I feel like I've been stabbed. And shit. Like, give them that win.
Yeah.
You know what? We all, as a white, group, just agree that look, if someone calls you a fucking, yeast maggot or something, act like you're crushed, you're soul crushed.
Well,
And then they feel like they've won. We kind of wink about it, but
maybe could you take it so far as to pretend it was the equivalent of the N-word?
yeah, you could.
Could you be
try.
so offended that you could like come swinging like
Why,
they called
I
you
never.
like they called you the N-word?
Yeah. The N-word's a funny one because I don't really believe, unless someone's throwing that word around in absolute hatred, I don't think it has the sting that people.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I think
no,
it's
it's
just a built-in response, like anyone white drops it, we all pretend to be.
it's a trump
outraged.
card.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
they get to hold. That-
Exactly.
that they don't have to be offended by it,
Yeah,
but you still don't get to say it.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
which is fine. You know what? I've matured. There was a day where I, like, fuck you, tell me what to say. I've never said that word with ill, hatred in my heart or anything like that. I've never hated any group of people. But, I can appreciate that now. Like, you know what? Fine. I'm old enough and grown up enough to understand why,
Yeah.
that word, just for whatever reason, you're better off just fucking leaving it.
It's not worth the fight.
No good can come of it.
No.
You're not making any friends that way. You're not winning any battles that way. You're not. It is what it is. So,
Louis got a couple of great bits on that. One where he's like, I'm a middle-aged white man. Like, you can't even hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to say to me? Like,
yeah.
And then the other one is his whole N-bomb thing when he's talking about the guy making his coffee. He goes, the whole thing about the N-word, this guy, gets done, he was like, dude was white. Like, I didn't say it like a negative thing. Like, that N-word made the shit out of my coffee.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not always a
And there's something
term.
to that.
Exactly,
there's
right.
something to having
And it's a brilliant bit because of
brilliant
that.
bit.
Exactly.
But it takes a special mind to come up with his other bit about it, about white people saying the N-word, quote unquote. That one's brilliant too. Like, no. Don't say the N-word, and then we all have to think that word.
Right.
Fucking have
You
some
made me
balls.
say it in my head.
You made me say it in my head. I wasn't planning on that.
Yep.
Fucking own the word and say it. Don't get off with this whole N-word. I mean, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant fucking bit.
Keep my son's name out your mouth.
Yeah. N-word. E-N-W-A-R-D.
Exactly.
I know. I was watching Gotham.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah. I was getting into it. And they've got Ed Nigma.
Yeah.
Who is the Riddler and that whole thing. And every time they said his name, Nigma, I was like, Ma Nigma. I just couldn't help it. Like every fucking time. I don't know if that was bad.
Rolls off the tongue.
Just like Ma Nigma. Is that racist in nature? I mean, it's kind of got some racist background to it. The fact that I even thought to say that.
Yeah.
But it's the only thing, not just me, but anybody listening right now is going to think when they hear the name Ed Nigma that, sorry to do that to you, but you're going to.
Racist.
Yeah. Now, scientists are not out of the loop with coming up with lists as well, T.
Okay.
Scientists. So we're going to have to.
Like albino Neanderthal?
Yeah. These are a new crackdown on harmful terminology. And this is we're giving back to people. We don't want people to step in traps.
Okay.
Right, get burned.
We got to inform. We have a platform here. We have to let the people know. We have to inform them, make them aware.
And if you're not aware of it, you could walk right into this. You lose your job, you lose your family.
Yeah.
The whole
Hey, there could
world
be people out there that
explodes.
didn't know you're not allowed to say the N-word till we just told them that.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Doing a public service.
Yeah. So it's a crackdown on harmful terminology in science. Members of the Ecology and Evolutionary Biology language product, founded by scientists in the U.S. and Canada, have published a list of 24 harmful terms regularly used. Deemed offensive, they've instead suggested a revised list of replacement terms. I think these people are just fucking with us at this point.
Probably.
You know what I mean? Like maybe someone gave you grant money and you have to come up with your findings or whatever, and so we're just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Well, let's see how valid these are.
But I can't help but bite. Maybe that's just me. And again, I'm just worried about other people falling into this trap and not seeing it coming.
We're doing a public service here. That's what we do.
So, researchers said efforts to champion inclusive language in science is particularly important for redressing the ongoing marginalization of many groups. Alien, non-native, exotic, or invasive. Harmful terms. Can't say those.
Okay.
Context is xenophobic, anti-immigrant, and militaristic. Okay. Invasive, I'm assuming is militaristic. Non-native and exotic, is that anti-immigrant?
But that's how I like my dancers.
Yeah. Exotic as shit.
Yeah. And non-native.
Yeah. Isn't there something to saying like, oh man, she looks exotic as shit? What's wrong with that?
I thought that was
Huge compliment.
What about exotic cars?
No.
No?
I
thought that was like a thing.
It is, but
Not anymore?
not anymore.
Speaking because of these guys.
Yeah. So if
Well, thank God.
you could say like nice cars, don't say exotic cars, dude. I mean,
but
unless
those-
you want to get fired. Are you begging to get fired?
What? So wait. Okay. What were the alternative terms?
So tell me this wouldn't be more offensive. Non-endemic species for another human being. Instead of just going an illegal alien, man, I don't know what to tell you. It's fucking migrant. No, non-endemic species.
No human is illegal, Michael.
Yeah, bullshit. I'll show you a whole bunch of them that are illegal. Newly arrived species. Species, I think I have an issue with.
Okay.
Species is like a bird. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
part of this
Well, I think
species
this
or
is
that
science. I
species.
think this is what we're talking about when they're talking about invasive species.
Non-indigenous
Yeah,
species?
like the Asian carp,
Yeah.
which you're not. I think they changed that. You weren't even allowed to call them Asian carp now, even though they're fucking Asian carp and they're
Wait.
invasive as fuck.
I
and
thought
they're
with
taking over as our
Asians,
water.
You can't call them Orientals. That's a big no-no.
Really?
Yeah, Orientals you can't. See?
Wow.
You're learning.
I am learning, yeah.
Oriental's a fucking rug, asshole.
Okay.
Don't call them that.
All right, good to know.
Yeah, so
I mean, that didn't
Oriental-
roll off my tongue.
That used
but-
to be a thing. Like these goddamn Orientals are fucking taking up all our jobs over here in this country.
Okay.
People would say that. It's like, no, Oriental is like a rug or a,
right.
scripter like that. It's not about people.
You can say Asians though, right?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah. So
now.
non-indigenous species, introduced species. I think of that as like, what's the shit that gets all over the boats?
The mussels.
Well, what are the ones that are not native? It's like from some of the land, you got to constantly scrape them off your fucking
Zebra mussels.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They're not native. There's some foliage, I believe it's called, all over the coast, okay, near the bay.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, but it is not from here.
Right.
And what it does is it takes over all the shit that is from here.
It's invasive.
It's invasive as fuck.
Very invasive.
But it's beautiful. I have pictures of the stuff, and it's like, yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do because these goddamn foreigners came over to this land. They're taking over everything.
Yep.
Talking about the flowers, the foliage, of course, not the people.
Well, they got here somehow.
Yeah, on a boat. Jeez, just saying. Just saying, they did. That's how we get their bugs and shit, their diseases, all kinds of stuff. Not saying we don't send them back with our diseases and shit. Maybe we do.
It's a fair trade-off, I think.
Nuisance species, you could say for that. So, moving on. Blind, double blind, and plant blindness. It's a disability metaphor. Replacement term is awareness.
So when I play poker, we should have the small and big awareness instead of the blinds.
I would, unless
Okay.
you want to get fired.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, awareness. Dude, Beth and I were driving down the street one day and we saw this guy was awareness as fuck.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Cane and everything.
Yep.
And Beth leaned out the window and I'm like grabbing her by the back of the shirt. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, he's not going to see me. Taking pictures.
Yeah.
And it was the dude from the fucking Sam Bernstein.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was that dude. It was
Yeah.
in like Birmingham.
He heard that shutter click. Though.
Maybe.
He fucking knew.
I was zooming by like 45 miles an hour.
That
She's
guy's
like,
a superhero, dude. He probably brailled your fucking license plate.
He could have. He could have, but he was awareness as shit. So I know he didn't see me.
Yeah. He didn't see you.
Citizen science. I didn't even know that was a thing. Maybe our brethren in the science community.
Citizen science?
Yeah. Citizen science is harmful to non-citizens who are excluded by that language.
Well, then be a fucking citizen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Or
Ooh.
do science in your home country where you would then be a citizen science.
Going back to that first one with the aliens.
You could say, if you wanted, participant science or community science. Feminized or masculinized. Feminized implies that feminine and masculine are biological traits rather than social constructs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
This is the science community telling
you
us
got to
this,
be
by the
shitting
way.
me.
No.
You fucking went there, you morons?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Okay, so feminine and masculine are now social constructs?
All right. Well, next time I get my seeds, I'm gonna hope that they identify as feminized from now on.
Sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
hope that
'cause-
there's not really a set of balls underneath there just pretending to be feminized seeds.
Great point. Describe the specific traits. So, like, instead of saying feminine, say great set of titties. Is that what
Works generally.
yeah.
Wow.
Grabbed her by the pussy.
But see, great set of titties doesn't have to be feminine. There can be a great set of titties and a fucking cock and balls. So be careful.
Shit.
Slippery slope.
Can't say that either. The Asian community doesn't like that.
The Orientals don't like it?
No, the Asians.
Oh.
Slopes. That's what they called them. So, it's kind of like chink in the armor.
I asked my cousin that. He had
know
just
what I
gone,
mean?
Bubs just came back from a ski trip in Japan. And I was like, do they still call them slopes? And he didn't get it.
Lots of people don't. Lots of people. I had to explain that to quite a few people.
He's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, do they call them like hills? What do they call them? I can't believe they call them slopes over there.
Yeah, slopes, slits, both, we would never say, obviously.
No. I'm talking about skiing.
No, I know. Gypsy, I thought gypsy we did away with. Being gypped on something, gypsies, it's a racial slur used to incite violence against Romani people.
What?
Instead,
I thought a gypsy was just like a vagabond. Like
Yeah.
like a
but if that's where they start.
Okay. Okay.
You know what you should call him instead?
What? Please tell me. I can't wait.
Spongy moth. That sounds way worse. So this is science related.
Gypsy. Wait, because a gypsy moth is what we're talking about specifically, not gypsies.
It says GYPSY, gypsy.
Yeah, gypsy, because a gypsy moth is a variant, a species.
Oh, so call it a spongy moth
No,
instead
it's
of
a
a gypsy
spongy
moth?
moth instead.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with gypsy moth.
How about a fucking poor homeless moth?
Yeah, there you go. That's not bad.
They get me at a caravan. You like digs?
Man and woman, harmful. Very, very harmful to say man or woman.
All right. Well,
It is
you have 100% lost me on this list.
It is highly anthropomorphic. Biased towards men or male traits.
I expected more from our science community.
Yeah, fuck them.
You morons.
Names after racist, eugenic, or colonizers. So,
Oh, shit. Full circle.
Yeah.
Nice callback.
so
Nobody called me a eugenic.
yeah,
Put
eugenic.
that one on the list.
Yeah,
But they called me a colonizer.
yeah. So they hold up problematic figures as noteworthy, someone to remember or celebrate, or just remember in the context of history, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
not saying you have to have a statue to Hitler up, but
It happened. Yeah.
it did happen.
Yeah. Ignoring history.
Means you're going to repeat it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Names after race. So, whose definition of racist? Because if you're going by the times, then anybody born pre 2015 is a racist motherfucker in your world.
Wow.
Yeah.
2015. So
2015.
Anybody under 8 right now?
Yes.
Or over 8?
As far as these people are concerned, the way this keeps evolving, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Anyone born pre 2015 is just flat out racist.
Yeah. Just inherently.
Inherently.
Didn't have a choice.
Right? They're all perfect. The ones coming up with these brilliant lists.
Yeah.
They've got it all figured out.
Well,
So,
somehow I believe they're older than 8.
yeah. Yeah. Well,
Although maybe not based on this list.
right. So, it depends on whose definition of something. You do agree that the world didn't just wake up yesterday and that people have been around for thousands of years and kind of figuring out as they went. You know, Irish people were sold as slaves, Catholics, lots of people. It was not just black people sold as slaves. Lots of people through history. That's one of the things humanity has done to each other. It's abhorrent.
Yeah.
It's awful on every level.
Yeah, we're getting screwed now just because we're where we shopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
We would have brought some from Europe. We'd have been fine right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Where we shop. Yeah. So I think it's just, you know, you can hate the forefathers as much as you want, but the forefathers were the ones that saw further down the road than most. You know, some would say they stood on the shoulders of giants to see that far down the road and then make those changes. And while that takes time,
Sure.
and while there's no looking back at history and just approving of all of it, they were the first in this fucking country to outlaw it.
Yeah.
Very first.
Yep.
It was right here. So,
You know, we didn't know how to have a workforce at the time. It was,
No.
it was an evolution. It was a
Yeah.
work in progress.
yeah,
You know.
people need to chill.
And for the record, it's not like they just like went over there with nets and just started capturing people. They bought them.
Yeah.
Somebody sold them.
Yeah, they did.
Was it a white guy that sold them?
No.
Oh, I doubt it.
No. Not
Just-
the
I'm just
originals,
saying.
not in Africa.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
They sent them to the east and they sent them to the west. Yeah.
Oh man, I had a fucking rhyme in my head for that.
What?
Was some of the best? I don't know. I forgot, but there's a lyric there.
Cannot,
to me.
This one's going to be tough for you, T. Survival of the fittest.
Okay.
Can't say that anymore.
What?
It's ableism.
Go fuck yourself. That's
I'm just saying.
it's Darwinism, dickhead.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck that is. That's
say-
evolution, bitch.
They say eugenics, ableism, and social Darwinism.
Yeah, fucking. What is,
That's what makes it bad.
oh my god.
That's what makes it bad.
How?
It just does.
You idiots.
You call them survival differences.
Yeah. So me saying evolve or die is racist, or is not. I shouldn't say racist because it's not a racial thing, but is unacceptable, basically.
What's happening?
When I say evolve or die,
Yeah.
well, that's a mantra of mine.
Yeah.
That's no longer okay.
No. Sick fucker. Where'd you even come up with that?
life,
Yeah.
real world.
Yeah, the real world doesn't matter.
God, these people.
Here's where you get, it's just, I was going to say off the reservation, but
Wow.
I think we could say that.
Oh my
or
God,
even-
shut her down.
These people are so off the reservation on this shit, no offense. But hermaphrodite
Okay.
is the medical term for someone born with both parts, right? They might have a little stubble panus and an overblown vagine. It's hermaphrodite.
Yep.
And it's what gender people used to like to push to, like, oh yeah, you're saying there's not, you can only be one gender? What about hermaphrodite? They would point to the one in a gazillion example to make their argument in the real world.
What about the weird chicks with two heads? You
Right.
know? Okay, it's not the norm.
Right.
Happens.
Yes.
Freak of science.
So, yeah, it's like saying, well, some kids are born with 6 fingers. Okay. Not saying that doesn't fucking
Yeah,
exist.
they weren't meant to, but yeah, they do.
It happens. Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite's a legal or a medical term for that. So now, such nonsense. They claim this is a derogatory term used to cause harm to the intersex and trans community.
How in the... See, that's why it's garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was garbage from the start, but this makes it even more garbage.
Yeah.
Because when you're talking about medical terms, it's not derogatory. It's factual. It's science.
Yeah.
And you are supposed to be the science community.
I used to make the argument that anything can be racist. Anything. As long as you give it a little bit of time. So you say the N-word, right? Can't say the N-word. And I would make the argument, I don't give a fuck, call them pillows. If the intent behind using pillows, you go, these fucking lazy pillows, God damn it, look at these pillows, the way they drive. Always doing drive-by shootings, you know the pillows. Like, how long would it take before pillows was the new N-word?
Sure. Makes total sense.
Right? So, okay, hermaphrodite. All right, you say call him monoecious. Fine. We'll call him monoecious.
But
and how long before that's an offensive term?
Exactly, what does that mean?
I don't
Why is that different than a hermaphrodite?
Monoecious means one ecious. That's as close as I can get.
Yep, I see what you did there.
Right?
Yeah.
Mono
Well,
is one ecious.
But I think that's wrong by definition.
Maybe.
I think there's definitely two eciouses there.
You think so?
Clearly.
Would it be singular ecious?
No, I think by definition the
So
hermaphrodite
would
has
be
more
double ecious.
Yeah, would have dosecious.
They couldn't use double-icious, or they would have.
Maybe.
Isn't that a bubble gum?
Yeah.
That's bubble-icious. It's too close.
Double your bubble.
You could
Double
also
your
call
yum.
them intersex or bigametic.
But not
know what that
hermaphrodite.
is. Right.
I mean, which is, historically been the term.
Okay.
Garbage.
Male and female, mother and father. I'm not even going to give you those.
No, please don't, because...
Noose.
okay.
So I think you could still say, like, yeah, T's got a huge noose. He's got a huge noose, right? But noose in general.
Well, again, no. This is fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
Because a noose is a thing. Now, I understand historically it's been used for horrific things.
Yeah.
But you know what was never at fault?
The word?
The noose.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That was never the noose's fault.
Right.
Right? If you
Leave the
did,
noose out of this.
Right? If you just, instead of a noose, you tied yourself a good old slip knot.
Yeah.
Would
They say to use lasso. But isn't lasso a term for something already?
and lasso and a noose are not the same thing.
Lasso's
Fuck
what you do like cowboys to wrangle a...
Exactly right, and that's a very loose knot so that it goes out
And then
big,
fucking-
and then you can cinch it down. A noose is technically a similar knot, but constructed very differently.
What if we call it Bubba Wallace? You know, I'm just spitballing here.
Yeah.
But didn't he blow his gasket over what he thought was a noose?
Yep.
In his
course.
locker or
Sure.
his gym garage?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can call it the Obama Library.
Sure.
Yeah.
The Obama Library.
Whatever
I love
happened with that?
I don't know.
Oh, because it was clearly a racist act.
Sure.
$100,000 fucking
Absolutely.
$100,000 reward. Believe me, if there was if it was fucking malicious in any way, somebody would have sold out.
Can you imagine if you were walking around nowadays too, going, "God damn it! Remember the good old days when they used to lasso pillows to trees?" How long would it be before that became horribly offensive?
Yep.
Are you understanding the point?
I do. Exactly.
I'm making an extreme
Exactly.
point
We're just
there.
yes, we are moving the goalpost is all we're doing.
Okay, you
and
cannot say...
this goes back to everything that we talked about of intent.
Right.
Everything is about intent.
Ta-da. That's what matters.
Exactly.
Virgin.
Come on.
Not when they're around me for long.
Come on.
Hey, look, I can get you to stop using Virgin real quick. Easy. You know what you're supposed to call them?
Please tell me.
The problem with it is it's a social construct that reinforces heteropatriarchal norms.
How about there's never been a dick up in there?
Yeah. Or you could say unmated.
Pristine. Intact.
Intact. Yeah. Hymenally intact.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you were like, yo, man, remember that chick, Sarah? I'm like, wait, you mean the unmated one? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that one.
That one. I was talking about the unmated one.
My God. I mean, I don't even understand why that's offensive. Because it's only, it's only if they're straight and wants a dick inside her. If she's scissored, she's not a virgin anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know. I mean, maybe once you go knuckle deep, the hymen's gone, you're no longer a virgin. I don't know exactly the rules.
Yeah.
I've always interpreted it to be a good old deep dickin'.
Deep dickin' usually. Can you slip on a fucking bicycle too.
You know, I mean, then there's very few virgins.
Someone
out there.
better tell Richard Branson too. He's gonna have to go with
change
fucking
unmated
airlines.
What
you know
a
what I
nightmare!
mean?
He's got to change the whole thing.
Unmated records, unmated airlines.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Unmitigated disaster.
Harem. What?
It's a thing.
Fuck yeah, a harem.
What would they prefer? We call a gaggle of bitches.
Mating group. This is my mating group. No, bitch. It takes longer to say that. This is my harem. Polygyny.
Okay.
You could call them. So, wait, hold on. Yeah, polygyny.
Yeah.
So, perpetuates the problem with it, with harem, is it perpetuates offensive stereotypes of human cultures, particularly those of the Middle East, and evokes a sexualized human power structure in which women are assumed to be subjugated to men. Yeah, that's what made it great.
That's a harem.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you can have a group of bitches.
Yeah.
But, if they're all like your bitches, then it's a harem. If it's just a group sex thing, then okay, it's a what
bukkake scene.
Or whatever the fuck they tried to call it.
Oh, mating group.
A mating group.
Yeah. I think of
everyone has to be equal. Harem makes them sound like they're subordinates.
Yeah, they are. They're your gaggle of whores.
Hey, listen.
Harem, whatever. You don't like it, leave. Take your chances. When I think of a harem, I think like off to the side, there should be some guy trying to coax a fucking cobra out of a basket with a flute. You know what I mean? Like that all goes to make it a harem. It's not just about the gaggle of bitches.
No, you need more than that.
Yeah.
And the harem can coax my cobra out of the basket.
Anytime it wants. Rape.
Wait, we can't say that?
Nope.
What if you got raped?
Forced copulation. Are you trying to tone down rape?
I would like to see that on the official charges docket.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Forced copulation. It's like being called a map. Mm-hmm. I'm a map. I'm a minor attracted person. What's the big deal?
I'm a forced copulator.
But what kind of guy are you, T? I'm kind of a forced copulation kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could call me a forced copulator. No, I think rapist and raper.
Yeah, I think those should stay in place.
Sting.
Yeah.
Those sting. If I go to prison because I raped a bunch of children.
It's like a pedophile.
Yeah.
Some of those should just stay in place.
Stay in place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. Like a Mayo sapien. They just got that sting to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got to leave those alone.
Leave them.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to prison, right, and everyone's like, they're not going to say, what did you do? They're going to say, what you accused of, right? Because you can't go into the joint and,
Yeah, I'm innocent.
We're all innocent.
Right.
So what you in for? What do they accuse you of? Say, man, these motherfuckers accuse me of forced copulation. You believe that shit? Anyway, good luck, my man. It's going to take them a while. It could take them a couple of years before they put two and two together.
Out.
That, holy shit, we had a rapist. He's a fucking rapist. Mm-hmm. He told me he was a forced copulator. I didn't even dawn on me. Yeah, I'm a map and a forced copulator. They stung me.
Oh, man, that sounds like a white-collar crime. What are you doing here?
Exactly. Yeah. I'm wondering the same thing, man. Anyway, have a good day. It was a pleasure meeting you, Lamont.
Oh, boy. Oh, Jesus.
So rape, you can't say. Yeah, that equates. So, wait, the problem they have with rape is it equates rape with reproductive strategy. So you're telling me that rapers out there are like, I'm going to knock this chick up.
Right.
Because I want a kid.
Bury that seed.
Yeah.
This one right here, she's got good genes, got good hips. The fucking baby's going to fall right out.
Equates rape with a reproductive strategy rather than a violent and traumatic act. I think rape covers that.
I think so. Yeah.
Like you are going out on a limb, science community.
Yeah, I don't ever have ever thought of rape as like, oh yeah, I'm gonna knock that bitch up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give her my baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my baby inside her.
That's the last thing you want to do.
I would think so, yeah.
You're a sloppy, shitty rapist if you're dumping your seed in her.
Yeah, right? That's gonna cost you for 18 years, dumbass.
Yeah, nice work. You left a fucking business card. What are you doing? What's the matter with you? You went to commit a crime and dropped all your shit. The fuck's wrong with you?
Leaving your wallet at the fucking scene.
Open to your license. So yeah, there's a few things. Rape, murder. We don't need new words for them.
No, we don't.
We just don't.
There's standard. That's fine. They've lost all validity to me, so
yeah,
it doesn't matter what you say anymore.
Hey, they keep printing them out. We're going to keep reading them, and maybe we've fallen for it.
Maybe. They're clowns.
There are a couple others. I'll go through them really quickly because we didn't get to a lot of our stories. Why don't you want to do a read first?
I would love to, because you know the crew at Zott Ford and Holly are jonesing to help you get a brand new Ford, all while delivering exceptional deals and world-class experience. Right now, you can lease a new loaded 22 Ford F-150 Super Crew as low as $292 a month for just 24 months. Or you can lease a jammed-up 22 Explorer XLT for as low as $333 a month for also 24 short months. I'm rusty. Plus, if you tell your friends at Zott Ford, they're going to kick in $500 worth of accessories at no additional charge with your new F-150. You know, I just realized that doesn't make any fucking sense.
What did you say?
Plus, if you tell our friends at Zott Ford, we'll kick in $500 worth of accessories at no additional charge with your new F-150.
Okay. Tell them what?
Exactly.
Tell them TDC sent you is probably what he meant.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But he didn't.
He's not going to say, tell them the employees at Meyer sent you.
This is generic. Insert your tagline here.
Oh.
So.
No, I think he gives us real ones.
Let's see. Tell your friends at Zott Ford, TDC sent you.
All right.
There you go. We're doing it on the fly. Okay. Hey, plus, if you tell your friends at Zott Ford that TDC sent you, they're going to kick in $500 worth of accessories at no additional charge with that F-150. Zott Ford is still paying $2,000 over your appraised value when you lease or buy a new Escape, Edge, or Explorer, but only if you know the name of Eric Fady's favorite furry little critter, Tony. Finally, Gabar and the team are still going nuts and offering 0% financing. That's right, 0% financing, which is insane right now, on lots of new in-stock vehicles. You can go check out their voluptuous inventory. I love voluptuous inventory. And dazzling deals at dealsinthed.com.
All right, let's see. New guide titled Evolving from Violent Language. We'll go through these quickly. This was created by Anna Taylor, communications director. I'm going to go on a limb and say, and known cunt. She's the director and diversity, equity, inclusion champion at the tech company Phenomenex.
Oh, that's Phenomenex.
Yeah, Phenomenex. So she's got some things that we can't say anymore, phrases we can't say anymore.
Lay it on me, bitch.
All right. I'll bite the bullet.
Okay.
See what she did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't avoid it any longer. That's what you say. All right, I'm just going to bite the bullet. I think of that like jumping into a pool for the first time. You know it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
You know what? And I used to say, I'll bite the bullet.
I still will.
I won't avoid it any longer. Ugh, they're trying to make us dorkier.
They are. Because it has bullet
Yeah.
in the verbiage.
We're going to pull the trigger. Who says we're going to pull the trigger?
I'm sure it's still said here and there.
Yeah. We're going to launch, everybody. We're going to launch.
No, you're not launching shit either.
Yeah, pulling the trigger on that. Pull the trigger on it. Whatever.
Yeah. If I'm going to buy something, I'm hemming and hawing. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm not doing? Launching anything.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
T, when we get done here, will you shoot me an email?
Gladly.
No, you can't anymore.
No?
Fuck, what's the matter with you? Would you be kind enough to send me an email? Do not shoot me anything.
Yeah. Scary.
And your attitude's a bit overkill right now. I got to be honest with you. You're not taking this seriously. Oh, shit, I can't say that anymore.
Overkill?
Overkill, no. A bit excessive is what you're supposed to say
All
now.
right. Fair.
Hey, let's not beat a dead horse here. All right, we've gone on long enough with these lists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah, that's a bad visual anyway.
Yeah, beating a dead horse.
Yeah, that one could probably go.
Let's not focus on that anymore. That's what we're supposed to say now instead of beating a dead horse.
Okay.
These are just too violent. We need to get them out of the.
For sure.
Out of
Well,
society.
beating a dead horse, yeah, that's a.
Well, if it's a dead horse, there's no sense in beating it.
No, that's why you
Right.
shouldn't keep beating it.
Right. Because it's a dead horse.
Makes total sense.
You're just wasting energy. It's a moot point.
You already killed it. Stop beating it.
Yeah.
That goes for a lot of things.
Why are you focused on it? Let's not focus on this anymore.
Right.
Stop beating the dead horse. You could have said stop beating the dead person.
Yeah. They said stop beating the dead horse.
Horse, yeah.
That works just as fine.
Makes way more sense. By the way, for the record, the word deadline was first recorded in 1864 during the Civil War, so it does have context. As both sides captured prisoners of war, a do not cross line was traced around the prisoners and guards, around prisons, and guards were ordered to shoot anyone that might cross the dead line.
I gotcha.
Right?
Well,
Jumping the gun is also one that has nothing to do with violence. Jumping the gun is getting an early start. The gun, like for an Olympic track meet.
jumping the gun.
Jumping the gun.
Right. Then get rid of the starting pistol.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
Whoa.
That's what the fuck it is, man.
Starting firing thing, maybe?
Okay. Starting sound. I don't know.
Starting sound. We're so fucked as a society.
We are. Doomed.
That might be the most offensive show we've done in quite some time.
I can't even believe it's anywhere near.
No?
No.
You
Not
don't think
even
so?
close. Fuck no.
There were a couple moments in there where even I was like, oh boy, we're
You
going
think
down
so?
for the- yeah.
Oh boy, I don't know.
Yeah. There was a couple of them.
All right. My oh shit radar didn't go off.
Okay, good. And it usually does first.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, great.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you don't give a shit either.
I don't,
Yeah, which is great. I love that about you.
but I do have to pee.
Okay, let's do an email and get out of here. What do you say?
I love it.
Fellas, it's me, Marcus.
Hi, Marcus, with a
With a
K.
K.
Hey, boy.
It's me, Marcus, of Patreon fame. I'll clear up some of your questions for you. I do know how to spell my name. It was a nickname some people called me back in the day, and I liked. And basically use it only for anything. I have people who call me all kinds of versions of Mark, though. I have seen mostly the C for the spelling, but there has been some with the K I've seen, which was another reason I kind of liked Marcus with a K. I'm like the only one out there using it. I have only met two Marcus/Marcus in the wild, C and K, he says. One white and one black. So not sure if it's more black than white, but I thought it was more black too for some reason. I'm not black, but I'm willing to identify as black if it will help the show. I do see some issues that could come from that though, so I'd prefer to stay as if the leaders don't mind. And Mark is in Arizona.
All right, fair enough.
He's in Arizona.
Welcome aboard, Marcus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy. All right, let's kill it there.
still
I got
black to me,
piss too.
Holmes.
Yeah, you'll always be black to me, Marcus, with a K. All right, everybody, thank you for joining us today. We certainly appreciate it. We'll be back. Hopefully, if things go well, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.